Welcome to the flowerschool.com video library. I'm Leanne Kessler, Director of the Floral Design Institute, and today I'm here to share with you a festive Halloween pumpkin arrangement. The season is one of my favorites. I always have to dash out to the pumpkin farm, finding the perfect pumpkins. And I think I'm going to get one or two, and it seems like I always come home with a carload because I can't choose just one. If you're like me, you're going to love today's video. Once you choose the perfect pumpkin, you want to cut the top off. Now, think back to your advanced studies when we taught the Fibonacci sequence and measure the pumpkin. You want to figure out the perfect golden measure. So I measured the pumpkin. It's 13 inches. So then using the Fibonacci of 1.618, cutting it, which is roughly 1/3, 2/3, mark it with a felt pen right around where you want to cut. And then the easiest way is to use a saw and just cut right through. That way you don't have to worry about chopping with a knife. You just cut through with a saw, following your markings, and you're ready to go. The easiest way to clean out the pumpkin guts is to use an old-fashioned ice cream paddle. It just scrapes it out so well. Then, to make sure that it lasts as long as possible, seal the inside of the pumpkin by spraying it with Pam cooking spray. Yes, just saturate the whole inside with the Pam, and it seals it, locking it so it doesn't decay quite as quickly. Then I also use a clear plastic liner and set that right inside to contain the water. I'm using my foam vertically to get the maximum height. It's still down in the water reservoir, so this will not dry out. Then I'm taping it in place, and then to make sure that it's sturdy and stable, wedging small pieces in the side just to lock it, and then you can set it right into the pumpkin. To anchor the lid in place, I'm going to use the wood-wired picks, and I just take and insert them right into the lid. And I do 4 of them to make sure that it's going to be stable. Then I don't need the wires, so I can just go ahead and cut those off. Then using the Oasis Floral Adhesive Cold Glue, glue right at the point of insertion. And you can see, I checked to see how it would sit onto the pumpkin with the foam. So a little bit of foam there. This is going to wedge right in and lock it in place, and the glue will make sure that it doesn't let go as it starts to dehydrate and decay. Once the pumpkin mechanics are done, you can use whatever flowers you love. I've got roses, sunflowers, leucadendron, some vibrant green hydrangea, which will just make everything else pop. Rose hips, and one of my favorite things, dahlias. They're so grand this time of the year, so big, voluptuous, and I love both the flower and the bud. So as you work, you just want to insert your flowers in a radial fashion. So I cut them down, and then as I insert, make sure you get a good, strong, sturdy insertion because you want to make sure it's going to drink and last without any problem. You can go back and add the buds in, let them be a little bit longer, and just keep radiating all the flowers around until you're happy with the placement and have the entire collar filled in. After the larger flowers are placed, then go back and fill in with the smaller things and the textures. The rose hips are so grand. Tucking them in between the larger blossoms, maybe even some scabiosa pods, getting that rough texture going. Find a little hole. The leucadendron. And these stems are so strong and sturdy that you can just tuck them in between the blossoms without any problem. To make it extra special, I'm going to detail the pumpkin with an extra special flower, the orchids. I've got some cymbidiums. You just take a single bloom off the stem, give it a cut, and then using a water tube, cutting that as well so it's not quite so tight, sliding it down in. And then you can place that down into the arrangement as well, anchoring it into the foam. And then to add a little bit of laciness, the Nandina is the best. The color of the leaves is so long lasting. Just taking and feeding it in between the blooms to add some softness. To ensure the pumpkin continues to last well, spray everything down, the pumpkin and the flowers, with Crowning Glory that will lock in the moisture. Then set the pumpkin on a tray. A dinner plate even works to make sure and protect the surface that it's sitting upon. And then you're ready to enjoy this for days and days and days. For more creative inspiration, check out our website, flowerschool.com. If you have questions, you can reach me through there or by telephone at 503-223-8089. Now it's your turn. Create a pumpkin and take a photo. Send it to me. You can use my personal email at Leanne@floraldesigninstitute.com or post it on social media and hashtag Floral Design Institute so we all can see. Have fun and do something you love.